Hey, welcome. I'm Z. I use they, he, and Z pronouns, and we are going to be reading some of this awesome zine, Black Vermont Farming. I'm in Indakina, so-called Vermont, in the ancestral homelands of Abenaki folks and Munsee Mohican folks, and I'm sure other indigenous folks as well. Thanks everybody for joining and taking a quick minute today. And we are going to read together, if you want to take a minute, to celebrate Black Her Story Month with some awesome real life Black history in the making of Black farmers in so-called Vermont. So welcome everybody. Reading again from this zine, Black Vermont Farming by Crystal Zhou. Let's see. So they show the authors show some texts visited. So one of them is Farming While Black. I don't know if y'all can see that. Isn't that some beautiful artwork? Welcome. So one of the texts that this zine, Black Vermont Farming, gleaned from is called Farming While Black, which is an awesome book, in case y'all haven't heard about it. A quote, learning about Carver, Hamer, Watley, and new communities, I realized that during all those years of seeing images of only white people as the stewards of land, only white people as organic farmers, only white people in conversations about sustainability, the only consistent story I'd seen or been told about Black people and the land was about slavery and sharecropping, about coercion and brutality and misery and sorrow. And yet, here was an entire history blooming into our present, in which Black people's expertise and love of the land and one another. Let's hear that one more time. In which Black people's expertise and love of the land and one another was evident. When we as Black people are bombarded with messages that our only place of belonging on land is slaves performing dangerous and back-breaking menial labor, to learn our true and noble history as farmers and ecological stewards is deeply healing. And that's one of the reasons that I'm an organic no-till farmer in Indakina, so-called Vermont. And that's why we're reading from this zine, Black Vermont Farming by Crystal Zhou. So, a text visited, Black Food Matters. Let's check this out. Look at that. Black Food Matters, and this was given to us when we did a Farming While Black panel as the only Black farmers in Addison County, so-called Vermont, in Dakina, in the fall of last year. We did it at Middlebury College, and we watched the film. It was awesome. We did a panel after. It was co-hosted by one of the college student organizations and a great student named Bailey, and Lindsay from Acorn Food Network, which is an awesome resource for farmers in this county. So let's see an excerpt from Black Food Matters by Hannah Garth and Ashante M. Reese. What survives? Reading Black Life, Refusal, and Self-Determination in Food. Welcome, welcome everyone. Black Food Matters brings together authors who examine production, distribution, and consumption through the lens of anti-Blackness to explore themes of fugivity and disposability, the consumability of Blackness and Black food culture, and the everyday resistances that are produced in the making of Black food geographies. There is nothing broken. The inequities, aka the food system, produces our functions of how it should work, as the push to maximize production and consumption while devaluing labor are integral to capitalist productions. And that's another reason that I am an organic no-till farmer in Indakina, so-called Vermont, and why we're reading from Black Vermont Farming by Crystal Zhou today. And thank you everyone for joining. I'm Z, and I hope to garden with you one day, or grow food with you one day, if we haven't already. So the next text visited in this zine is called Black Geographies. Black Geographies is a love letter to and an affirmation of what is possible when we listen to Black people's food stories beyond an all-encompassing narrative of lack. The historical and ongoing significance of race at the intersections of capitalist accumulation, dispossession, and residential segregation requires an understanding of how the geographic distribution of food is a reflection of anti-Blackness and oppression as much as it is about class and economic capital. How have Black people been challenged by and resisted unequal food access? How do quiet food refusals show up in everyday life? What happens when we examine lack, choice, and decision-making as dynamic and interrelated processes in accessing food? And that's from Black Food Geographies. Next text visited is Black Earth Wisdom. In this time, we are acutely aware of the fractures in our system of runaway consumption and corporate insatiability. We feel the hot winds of wildfire, the disruptions of pandemic, and the choked breath of the victims of state violence. We know there is no going back to normal. The path forward demands that we take our rightful places as the younger siblings in creation, deferring to the oceans, forests, and mountains as our teachers. Those whose skin is the color of soil are reviving their ancestral and ancient practice of listening to the earth to know which way to go. All beings are sacred. There is a covenant of moderation. Nature is cooperative and generous. Nature is queer and trans. Nature does not hate. Our common languages are song and silence. Land is the basis of our freedom. We can't breathe. We are kin. And that is from Black Earth Wisdom. From the zine Black Vermont Farming. Welcome, welcome. Now, let's talk about some actual Black farms in Vermont. So for one, there is us. We are Abolition and Action Farms. We are a 10-acre no-till organic space. We are a collective community place created on Abenaki and Muncie Mohican stewarded land for the healing, wellness, and survival of Black beings. Whether that term is used to self-identify as Americanized African, African American, Afro-Indigenous, right? There are different terms. And Abolition Action Farms is and will always be led by Black folks. In support of our disabled, differently abled kin, we mask and we test at the farm. In solidarity with animals, human and non-human, farm workers, and the lands, waters, and air that sustain us, we are an indigenous-centered, plant-based space, and we exist in direct opposition to environmental racism, health racism, colonialism, serfs, turfs, ableism, imperialism, climate crisis denial, cis-heteropatriarchy, trans-misogynoir, and all and any forms of domination and perfectionism. At the end of the day, we want to live in a world that's kind and where the least harm is happening. And we welcome you to join us and collaborate with us in our freedom work if that is what you want to do. Our website has all our social medias and our email. If you want to reach out, I can put in the chat, as long as I figure out how to do that. Comment, there you go. Yeah, so again, some of the awesome Black farmers that are in this state, we're going to read about them. They're alive and real, and we are too. And we are a anti-capitalist space and decolonial space. So 90% of what we grow, we give out for free to Black folks, and 10% goes to markets so that we can meet the overhead cost of the collective without ever charging any Black folks that get free care from our survival programs any money. Some of the things that we offer, just so you all know, is survival skill shares, how to eco-brick free housing from materials that we upcycle that we don't pay any money for, mindfully and ethically foraging, organic no-till farming, de-escalation and plant propagation, workshops like communicating with caged neighbors and carceral support. We do trainings on how to be less anti-Black, anti-Indigenous, how to be more intersectional with affinity groups, institutions, individuals. And we also do plant and seed swap and shares so that we can get these skills and these resources out to as many multi-marginalized folks as possible. And we can make it through whatever comes in the next 4 or 100 years. We have a free apothecary for Black trans folks. Welcome, welcome. I'm Z. I use they, he, and Z pronouns. And I'm an organic no-till farmer in Indakina, so-called Vermont, and Lenape-Hawking, so-called Philly. I'm right now in the Indakina space. We also have free houseplants for Black Indigenous folks for air filtration and mental well-being. We also host sacred space for Black rest, play, and collaboration. We just got a free drum set donated so that we can paint the garage, make it into a community space, and people can jam and speak with their ancestors in whatever ways they see fit. And I'm going to take a sip of my tea. You're welcome to do the same if you have some. Oh, that is delicious. It's organic farmed and foraged lemon balm, mugwort, marigold leaves, tulsi or holy basil. Oh, what else did I put in it? Oh, peppermint. Yeah, peppermint and mullein. Yeah, I'm gonna heal. So let's see, we have Calabash Gardens, right? It is run by a Black farmer and a white farmer, and the amazing Black man right here. Let's read about him. And he's the founder of the farm, who Claudel Sherry and Jet Mendel Abramson. His name is Jet Mandel Abramson, and you can see that spelling right here. Welcome, welcome. We're reading about some awesome local black farmers. 2 acres of saffron and cover crops in Newberry, Vermont, in Indochina. Its Calabash Gardens began late summer of 2018 with 2,000 crocus sativas corms. How they do regenerative organic farming techniques. The vision: calabash is an evergreen tropical American tree which bears fruit in the form of large woody gourds. The hope is that, like the calabash tree, Calabash Garden will serve as a gathering place for people to connect, share stories, and build relationships. Welcome, everyone. You can find them at Calabash Gardens, Norwich Farmers Market, calabashgardens.com. And they do fine dining experiences, saffron, tinctures, maple syrup, hot sauce, and more. You can see that right here. Let's see who else we have. We have, one second. We have our kitty cat who is really excited and needs to be let inside. We're going to let them inside. Welcome back. Welcome back. I had to let the cat boy in. So let's see who else we got. The Clemens Family Farm. Clemens Family Farm. The one of their quotes that is their ethos: we must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains, from Asada Shakur. 1. Preserve the 138-acre historic Clemens Farm in Vermont as a critical educational prototype and a model for preserving other African American owned agricultural land. Culture and heritage assets in the U.S. The farm is one of the 0.4% of farms in the U.S. that remains African American owned. Land is equity. Where are you tuning in from? Are you in Indochina, so-called Vermont? Are you in some other place of Abya Yala, so-called the Americas? Their number 2 that they state of their ethics is empower. A growing network of Vermont's black artists and culture bearers with opportunities for professional development, advocacy, visibility, networking, paid engagements, collective healing, and a safe haven for creativity that helps them to thrive, that helps us to thrive. 3, build a loving multicultural community around African American, African diaspora history, arts, and culture. Yeah, let's breathe that in. And breathe out any harm trying to reach us. As we listen to Septober Beats, an amazing black beats maker and soundscape creator. So let's look one more time at Clemens Family Farm, one of the oldest black farms in the state. And now let's see who we have here. We have Conscious Homestead. We are a learning urban homestead that centers black and brown-based healing and liberation, community care, and the practice of living consciously with, not over, the land or one another in so-called Winooski, Vermont. Their ask is, are you ready to live in your wholeness? We are choosing to love ourselves unconditionally. You can see that here. Welcome, welcome everyone. Let's see, the next one is Azili's Respite Farm and Sanctuary. Right here. It is an intergenerational diversified working farm and homestead on 13.4 acres, cultivating perennial food sources, medicinal herbs, to feed the growth and resilience of rural, Black, and transgender community through agroecological and permaculture practices. In addition to harm reduction heroes, peer mentorship programs, foraging responsibilities include cultivating perennial and medicinal food sources and small herbs. Let's see who else we got. We got Farmer James Apiculture. We work with honeybees that have traits to survive in the Green Mountains of Indakina, Vermont. We try and set up apiaries in areas that provide an abundance of wild native species of plant flora and fauna, believing that nature provides them with what they know is needed to form a strong and healthy bee population. We think this is apiculture. You can reach them at farmerjamesapiculture.com and Insta Farmer James Apiculture VT, harvesting in Stockbridge, Vermont. Flying Buffalo Farm. Let's see. Mother and daughter of duo. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about Black Vermont Farming, written by Crystal Zhou. Happy Black History Month. Flying Buffalo Farm, run by Hazel Adams Shingo and Hazel Adams, little baby Hazel Adams. And share this live if you have learned something that you liked to hear today. On Christmas morning of 2021, Hazel secured the land through Vermont Land Link and began planting by spring. The family-owned farm is a family project between Hazel Adams Shingo and her 3 children, in their efforts to grow an Afro-Agritech movement focused on health, education, agriculture, and technology. The Flying Buffalo LLC, located in Lamoille County, Vermont, which produces naturally grown vegetables, flowers, and medicinal herbs. She is currently sharing this life experience with her 3 adult children and grandson. The farm is totally off-grid and all seeds are non-GMO, heirloom, and hand-sown. Farming with her family is the latest adventure Hazel has chosen to engage in. Contact at flyingbuffaloVT@gmail.com and info@beingspecialnyc.com in Walcott, Vermont. Whee! Yeah! It's amazing. Welcome. Next, we have High Priestess Fine Cannabis, run by Marlo Saucier. The High Priestess represents a deep connection to one's intuition and inner wisdom. Located in Brattleboro, Vermont, High Priestess is devoted to producing the highest caliber craft cannabis products utilizing regenerative farming principles. Our passion leads us in selecting the finest cultivars that deliver a truly exceptional cannabis experience. With a focus on sustainability and deep respect for the plant, we believe that our approach to the cultivation is not only better for the environment, but also produces a superior product that is second to none. On a more personal level, our approach to this cannabis endeavor is one where our true north embodies social justice and authenticity with integrity. True North embodies social justice and authenticity with integrity, y'all. We support cannabis businesses that are interested in building an inclusive community and are helping to remove the negative stigma associated with cannabis. Living soil is a method of soil cultivation, right? That prioritizes the use of natural and organic material to create soil diversity. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. Yeah, welcome. So what else we have? Janine Farm, run by Cleo Baldumas. Let's see. Janine Farm, run by Janine Najimana in Colchester, Vermont, cultivates over 8 acres of African eggplant and various specialty vegetables. Janine sells her produce to customers nationwide and partners with the VT Food Bank. The farm also plays a role in seed preservation. Janine saves and sells African eggplant seeds through True Love Seeds. Follow her on Facebook or call her at 802-363-5461. Incubated through New Farms for New Americans. Sofia Giliberto grows with Calce, the next world of wine. It says, looks like the decolonization of big wine, the dismantling of racism and sexism in the wine industry. If that's something that you care about, drop a heart, y'all. Share this live. The amplification of historically oppressed and abused voices. Maximize resourcefulness and minimize waste. Oh, live visibility restricted. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards. Under our community guidelines, reason discussing drugs or other related substances. Interesting, because that is completely untrue. Cooperative practice in a worker-designed economy. Website, calciwine.co. Contact hi at calciwine.co. Instagram, calciwineco in Fletch, Vermont. Let's see who's next.